Hey everybody, this is Nate with another Backcountry beer review. Today I'm in the Midewin National Tallgrass Prairie in northern Illinois. It's pretty much the best it gets in terms of backcountry in this area. We're very close to the city of Chicago. As you can probably tell, we're still in kind of like a semi-urban, ex-urban area based on the amount of car traffic behind me. You might hear a train too. The beer I'm reviewing today is by Warpigs Brewing in nowhere, as I'll explain in a bit, and it's their Waking the Witch Blackened Imperial India Pale Ale. So Warpigs Brewing, I'd never heard of them. Normally when I'm home for the holidays, I like to try out some local beer. I did some research, found out that Warpigs started out as a collaboration between Floyds Brewing and the Mikkeller Brewery in Denmark. And it seems like they've kind of gone independent, but it doesn't say anywhere on the can where they're kind of headquarters out of. But it does say that they're still brewed at Floyds in Indiana, so do with that what you will. Although I did notice on Google Maps that they have a location, a brew pub in Denmark, so I guess this is a Danish beer, but it is brewed in the US by Floyds on contract. To read the can, it says, "From across space and time, bearing long forgotten truths of futures past, here chants the witch, stirred from her fitful slumber, the sleeper must awaken." So yeah, that tells you pretty much nothing about the beer inside. Let's open up and give it a taste. Okay, it is time for a sip. So of course we are on a tallgrass prairie, there's a lot of wind. And another cool thing about this tallgrass prairie is that there's actually a herd of bison here. Well, this beer has a lot of interesting flavors. It does confuse your brain a little bit because, you know, this blackened Imperial Pale Ale, Imperial IPA I should say, it's basically like you take a dark beer malts, like a dark ale malts, and mix it with an IPA hop profile. And what that ends up creating, arguably not a pale ale anymore, but whatever, what that ends up creating is just this confusing thing for your brain where you're picking up these like chocolate, roasty, caramel, toffee, malt notes, but then you're also picking up this dank, resinous hop bitterness. Specifically right away, I get this kind of dustiness, this cocoa powder dustiness. It's actually really not that bitter like dark chocolate. It's very bright milk chocolate, sweet chocolate notes. But mixed in with this dustiness, and I think what's happening is that the kind of like hop tannins are sort of drawing the moisture from my mouth and giving my brain this recognition of dustiness, dryness. And then from there it really transitions into more of these rich roasty malt notes, the caramel, the toffee especially. I get a little bit of cola, which is a little strange. I haven't really picked that up in beer before, but it's definitely there. This beer has orange peel and lemon peel in it. I'm not really picking that up at all. In fact, when I drank this beer, I was looking for citrus. It's kind of one of those notes I look for in an IPA. You know, check that box, is there citrus or no? I actually don't really pick up much citrus. Like I said, the hop notes I'm getting are really dank, resinous, maybe a little bit of pine, but not really citrus. I'm also getting a little bit of meatiness, a little bit of smokiness, just from that dark roasted malt flavor. And the finish leaves some of that dry hop note in the back, but given the ABV of the beer, it's actually really not that bitter. Really a pretty interesting beer. It took me a while to kind of coax some of the flavor notes out of this. So if you do end up getting it, I do recommend sitting with it for a little while, trying at different temperatures. It's about like 10 degrees colder than when I drank it earlier, and I think the flavor is actually coming out a lot more, surprisingly, versus when it was warmer. On that note, cheers, and have a backcountry beer for me. Okay, it is time for a sip. Okay, it is time for a